Iltutmish was the son of an Ilbari chief. He was very handsome and promising, so he became the favorite of his father. But his brothers and relatives became jealous of him on that ground and sold him to a horse dealer. Having passed through many masters, he was finally purchased by Aibak, and by virtue of his merits soon won his trust and confidence. He was later on appointed as the governor of Badaयूं, where he had to do a lot of fighting. He exhibited during these wars such firmness, ability, and capacity for military leadership that a majority of nobles of Delhi decided to make him the successor of Aibak. Yildiz, the ruler of Ghazni, still entertained the ambition of imposing his suzerainty over the Turkish dominion in India. Another problem was posed by the Rajputs. Like the Turks, they too used the prevailing confusion to their utmost advantage and withheld the payment of taxes. The fierce Mongols under Genghis Khan were already routing Central Asia and were likely to cross India any time. Iltutmish also had been the slave of Aibak, who in turn was the slave of Muizuddin. Free-born Turks considered it a great humiliation to have to submit to this slave of a slave. There were the problem of Khokhars also. Iltutmish constituted a band of 40 known as Turkane Chehelgani in order to consolidate his position. With the view to assert his supremacy over Qabacha, Yildiz invaded Punjab and occupied Lahore. Iltutmish could have captured Ghazni, but a far greater danger lurked in it. The empire of Ghazni, under the hammer blows of the Shah of Khwarezm, was in its last stages of dissolution. Having lost Ghazni, Yildiz was sure to fall upon Punjab, and thus the situation could have worsened. Iltutmish therefore started military preparations. In the meanwhile, the Shah of Khwarezm occupied Ghazni, and Yildiz fled to Lahore. He asserted his supremacy over Iltutmish once again and proceeded towards Delhi. But this time, Iltutmish was ready to confront him. He proceeded at the head of a large army and defeated and captured Yildiz in the plains of Tarayan. He was then sent as a prisoner to Badaयूं, where he died or later on killed. After the defeat of Yildiz, Qabacha probably accepted the suzerainty of Iltutmish and reoccupied Lahore, but his submission was not sincere. As soon as Iltutmish returned to Delhi, Qabacha went back on his promise. Iltutmish sent an army for the conquest of Lahore. Qabacha failed to hold Lahore back, which fell to Iltutmish. At the time of accession of Iltutmish to the throne of Delhi, Ali Mardan was ruling in Bengal. He was a person of cruel nature, and Khalji nobles were fed up with his oppressive rule, so they assassinated him. Hisamuddin Ivaz Khalji was elevated to the position of Sultan. He later on assumed the title of Ghiyasuddin Azam, captured Bihar, and released tribute from the neighboring kingdoms such as Jajnagar, Tirhut, and Kamrup. As Iltutmish was engaged with the problems of Northwest, he could not pay proper attention towards the affairs of Bengal. As soon as his position was secured in Northwest, he directed his attention towards Bengal. Ghiyasuddin, knowing his limitations, did not fight against Iltutmish and surrendered. Iltutmish appointed Alauddin Jani his governor in Bengal in 1225 and returned to Delhi. Just after his departure, Ghiyasuddin turned out Alauddin and recaptured Bihar. Thereupon, Nasiruddin Mahmud, the eldest son of and governor of Awadh, was directed to launch an expedition against him, and he defeated and assassinated Ghiyasuddin in 1226. Iltutmish appointed his son Nasiruddin Mahmud as the viceroy of Bengal and Bihar. In 1226, he launched a powerful expeditions against the Rajputs of Ranthambore and Mandsaur and recovered Chauhans and Parmars respectively. The Chauhans, the ruler of Jalore, also accepted the supremacy of Iltutmish. Later on, Ajmer, Bayana, and Sambar also conquered after bloody clashes. By the year 1230-31, Jodhpur and Gwalior were also subjugated. Malwa, Bhilsa, and Ujjain also became the part and parcel of the Delhi Empire. It was during this period that the Mongol invasion of Central Asia began under the leadership of Chinggis Khan. The Shah of Khwarezm also failed to check their advance and, suffering a defeat at their hands, fled towards the Caspian Sea. His son, Jalaluddin Mangbarni, at the same time crossed the river Indus and entered Punjab and occupied Lahore. He sought Iltutmish's alliance against the Mongols. Assessing the intricacy of the situation, Iltutmish sent word to Jalaluddin that the climate of India would not suit him. He thus saved India from a very grave danger. Iltutmish not only tried to consolidate the Sultanate by military victories, but also laid the basis for the administration of the Sultanate. He began the system of iqtas. He divided the provinces into large iqtas and smaller iqtas. He granted the iqtas to the military officers. The iqtidars of the larger provinces had to see to the maintenance of law and order, collect taxes, send army in times of emergency, and pay tribute to the ruler. The smaller iqtas had the basic duty to collect taxes but had no administrative duties. Iltutmish is also credited with the establishment of the institution of 40 slaves known as Turkani Chehelgani and distributing all high offices among them. He is also credited with making Delhi as the capital city. Iltutmish is also famous as the first sultan to have introduced changes in currency. Iltutmish issued a purely Arabic coin called tanka weighing 175 grains to replace the earlier coins. Perhaps the most notable step taken by Iltutmish was to secure a letter of investiture from the Abbasid Caliph. The Caliph recognized him as the Sultan of Delhi and conferred on him the title of Nasir Amir ul Momineen. Iltutmish proved an equally great patron of learning and culture. Various intellectuals gathered in Badawin in his court. He was also a very enthusiastic builder. Qutub Minar, a monument of strength and grace, was built during his reign. He also built a magnificent mosque at Ajmer. His own tomb at Delhi also is an example of Indo-Islamic architecture. Iltutmish was a great patron of art and literature. He gave shelter to all the Muslim theologians who fled Central Asia due to Mongol invasion. His court in Delhi gave wider dimension to their intellectual pursuits. Iltutmish respected the ulemas but was firm enough not to be governed by them. His selection of razia went against the ulemas, but at the same time he pacified them by holding frequent religious discourses. He consolidated Aibak's empire, gave it a system of governance which, though not faultless, was definitely better than that existed before. He was a far-sighted diplomat. Introduction of Arabic coinage such as silver tanka and copper jital were also wonderful contributions of Iltutmish. In the words of R.C. Majumdar, we can say Iltutmish may justly be regarded as the greatest ruler of the early Turkish Sultanate of Delhi.